am coming off of the back of an insane weekend. Oh my. We had Benzema to score anytime, a Nations League both to score double, an insane Italy versus Belgium bet builder featuring goals, cards and corners, and a correct score double. Italy and France to win 2-1 in the Nations League finals. There were multiple other winning bets on the weekend, but those were just a few of the notable ones. In fact, on the Saturday as well, we had a bunch of accumulators come in, 2 5-folds and a 6-fold accumulator as well. I don't normally post winning bets in a video after they happen, but that was just such an insane weekend, I had to share some of them with you. And maybe it adds to my credibility as a tipster just a little bit. Knowing my luck, I'll be back with some tips today and they'll all go wrong. And we're not going to go safe with some of these tips either. Some of them are really good, high value. Now, with week 7 of the Premier League, I actually correctly predicted that there would be 24 goals scored across the 10 games, which I thought was very, very cool. And the Sunday, we didn't miss with the tips. They all came in, both teams to score in the Palace-Leicester game, both teams to score in the Tottenham-Villa game, over 2.5 goals in the West Ham-Brentford game at 1.9, and a score draw in the Liverpool-Manchester City game. So all phenomenal in that week. Now it is time for week 8. Drop a like, subscribe, and let's get started. Kicking it off, we do have Watford versus Liverpool. I was considering going for Liverpool win and both teams to score here, but these two very rarely both score against each other in games. If one of them's going to win, it's going to be 2-0 usually, and just in case that does happen, my tip is not going to be Liverpool win and both teams to score, even though I could see it happening. Liverpool are on red hot form. Watford are doing decent this season, so I am going to back them to get a goal, in contrary to recent meetings between these two where they don't both score. I am going to back Watford to get a goal. I'm going to go for a 3-1 score prediction, but my tip is going to be Liverpool win and over 2.5 goals at 1.83. In case Watford do score, then that looks very, very likely, but if Watford don't, I could still see Liverpool winning 3-0 with how unreal their front three has been. The only way in which I see this not coming true is if Liverpool win 2-0, but I think with how attacking Watford will attempt to be, similar to what Brentford did, I think Liverpool will be able to exploit that and get a comfortable win here away from home. The next game is Aston Villa up against Wolves. This is quite a tricky one to predict. I don't know which way necessarily I would lean to if I had to pick a winner. I suppose Aston Villa have looked good, but I think Wolves have looked very good this season. Villa are definitely the bookies' favourites, but I'm struggling to separate the two. Aston Villa lost to Tottenham, and Wolves in the previous game week managed to beat Newcastle, which I did correctly predict as well. So I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. The last meeting between these two teams was a low-scoring 0-0 draw, or a no-scoring 0-0 draw, I should say. So I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw between the two teams, and my tip is actually going to be draw at 3.25. Aston Villa have the home advantage. I think Wolves have played well this season. I'm going to tip a draw. And there's always crazy value in a draw because everyone loves to pick a winner. So I'm going to go for draw in that one. After that, we have Leicester against Manchester United. This could be anyone's guess. Leicester, when they go forward, they do look decent and they do have a squad full of talented players. Manchester United can't seem to get a consistent run of form where they look dominant in every game they played, such as Manchester City or Liverpool. They can't seem to do that, even though they've got an array of talent in their squad. And I was really considering a few tips for this one. Manchester United to win from behind. I think that would be interesting. To be honest, Man United to win this game 2-1 as a correct score prediction. So that's going to be my prediction, 2-1 to Man United. And like with Italy and France winning 2-1, I could see this being a 2-1 game in favour of Manchester United. Alternatively, Manchester United winning both teams to score. I considered that at odds of about 4.5, I think. But I went safe in case Leicester randomly win this one like 3-1. I'm going to go for my tip as both teams to score and over 2.5 goals at 2.1 with that 2-1 score prediction. I think 2-1 Man United looks quite likely in my opinion. I predicted it for the West Ham game. They got the 2-1 win. They could have easily got it against Everton. They could have lost 2-1 against Everton, to be fair. So I think 2-1 Man United is what I'm going to go for here. Next up, we have Man City up against Burnley. Pep Guardiola's having a field day when it comes to Burnley. He loves playing them. They very rarely concede. Manchester City win to 0 was only 1.72 in odds, and I think given that all it takes is just a scrappy mistake or just a Burnley goal for that not to come true, that is not going to be my tip. However, I'm going to go for a 5-0 win to Manchester City, and my tip is going to be Man City -2 on the handicap at even, so odds of 2. So Man City, if they win 3-0, 4-1, 5-2, 6-3, etc. They just need to win by 3 goals for that to come in, and I see that being very likely for this rampant Manchester City team. Now, moving on, we have Norwich up against Brighton. Norwich claiming their first point against Burnley in a 0-0 draw. Fabulous for Norwich, of course. They won't be on 0 points forever. Brighton, they are obviously having a fantastic season. They managed to hold Arsenal to a draw. Arsenal managed to hold Brighton to a draw. Brighton were very, very good in that game against Arsenal. Cucurella was phenomenal in that game. He looked really, really good, showing his Barcelona roots in his gameplay there. I'm going to go for a Brighton 2-0 win away from home. But my tip, I'm playing it very, very safe here. Brighton draw no bet at 1.5. If it's a draw, you get your money back. I don't see Norwich beating this Brighton side. If Brighton win, 1.5 is a nice little ACCA booster with that little bit of insurance of the draw no bet, even though the value isn't phenomenal. I think if you've got a little bit extra to play with this weekend, you're feeling a bit brave, go for a Brighton win because the value is there for a team that is looking considerably better than Norwich this season. Now, after this, we have Southampton up against Leeds. Southampton, the bookies' favourites in this one, which is very, very interesting to me. Southampton winless at home, Leeds winless away, so it's going to be a very close contest. I think this is going to be high scoring between the two teams. This could be like 6-3 either way. It genuinely could be. If there's an early red card like Southampton have seen in the past, it could be like 9-0 again. So there's going to be a lot of goals in this one, I think. I'm going to give the edge to Leeds and go for a 2-1 away win. I think both teams to score is a good shout. I was surprised that the Leeds-Watford game ended 1-0. There definitely should have been a boatload more goals in that game. But my tip is going to be Leeds double chance at 1.53. Southampton are winless at home. Southampton are winless this season, and all Leeds need to do is not lose against this struggling Southampton side, and I think they have the quality to do that. So Leeds double chance is my tip here. Now, next up, a very difficult one, Brentford up against Chelsea. Brentford at home. It is a difficult place for anyone to go. Chelsea, they are a fantastic team. They do look very good this season, but I don't see Brentford drawing a blank at home, really, against anyone. They're giving everyone a run for their money. They put 3 past Liverpool recently, so I'm going to go for... I can't stay away from this 2-1 score prediction, but mostly because I think there's a favourite in the game, but I don't see the underdog not scoring. I think Chelsea could potentially win this to 0, but given Brentford's form, I'm going to give them a goal. However, I think Chelsea are going to be able to just get the win. So I'm going to go for the 2-1 win to Chelsea. This could be 1-0. This could be a draw, but I do think Chelsea will just get over the line. It's not going to be convincing. It's not going to be easy, but I think Chelsea will just have enough and win 2-1. My tip is going to be Chelsea to win and under 4.5 goals at 1.8, just to allow for the 3-1 victory in case Chelsea go a bit nuts. Like with the Southampton game, my prediction was Chelsea win and under 3.5 goals, and there were 4 goals because of that late red card. Chelsea got 2 late goals and made it 3-1. So I'm allowing for that 3-1 possibility here, and also allowing for the possibility of a Brentford goal, but a Chelsea win nonetheless. Now, after that, we have Everton up against West Ham. This is a game that I do think will be high scoring. I was tempted to potentially tip a draw. However, I am going to go for a 2-2 draw, a high scoring draw between the two sides. But my tip is simply going to be both teams to score at 1.66. I don't see that not happening in this fixture. Both teams are looking good this season, and they both will be somewhat rested, even though they do have players playing, you know, for their international clubs over the international break. As a unit, I think they'll be fresh and ready to go for the Premier League, and I think it's going to be a high-scoring draw between the two. Now, next up, it is Newcastle up against Tottenham, the new richest club, or the club with the richest owners in the world. Absolutely phenomenal, but obviously that's not going to take effect in the first game back against Tottenham. I think Newcastle really just need to make sure they avoid relegation this season, and then they can really start building perhaps some flashy January signings to help them stay up and avoid relegation. But Tottenham, they managed to get a good win against Aston Villa, 2-1, not without its scares. And Newcastle in the previous game week, they finished 2-1 loss to Wolves. So they both played out a 2-1, Tottenham winning, Newcastle losing. I'm going to combine that and make another 2-1. I'm going to go 2-1 to Tottenham. However, my tip, and I really like this one, Tottenham, when they do get wins by 1 goal, it's usually late on, I think. So I'm going to go draw halftime and Tottenham full-time at 5.5. Phenomenal value. Do I think Tottenham are going to blow Newcastle out of the water in the first half? No. No, I don't. I do think Tottenham are going to win, but I can see Newcastle getting a goal with the likes of St. Maximin playing the way he is. It's going to be difficult to stop them, so I think I'm going to go 2-1 Tottenham win, perhaps 1-1 half-time, 2-1 full-time. Maybe that's a shout, but draw half-time, Tottenham full-time at 5.5. Obviously, That is not a banker. That's a big call from me. I wouldn't say that's guaranteed in any way, shape, or form. So if you're trying to keep it safe, I would stay away from that. But again, if you're feeling a bit brave, maybe a little Brighton win double and draw halftime, Tottenham full-time could be some excellent value there. The final game of the week, Arsenal up against Crystal Palace. I really struggled to predict this one. Palace looked phenomenal against Leicester in that first half and found themselves 2-0 down, and then continued that phenomenal style of play in the second half and came back to draw 2-2. And Arsenal, they were struggling. They were struggling against Brighton at the Amex Stadium, it does have to be said. Because this is at the Emirates and not at Selhurst Park, I am going to give Arsenal the edge. However, this could easily be a draw, so my tip is not going to be in the result market. I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Arsenal, but I can't see, obviously, Arsenal keeping a clean sheet, and the way Crystal Palace have been scoring a little bit more freely under Patrick Vieira, I can see it happening. I also don't see Arsenal drawing a blank at the Emirates, and both teams to score is valued at 1.95, so perceived to be less likely than one or both of the teams drawing a blank in this fixture, which I thought was really good value. So I'm going to go for the 2-1 win to Arsenal, but both teams to score at 1.95. And that just about does it for the Week 8 predictions of the Premier League. I feel good with these tips. I've gone really bold. You know, we've got a lot of tips over evens, 1 over 3 predicting the draw, and then 1 well over 5 with the halftime, full-time market in the Tottenham game. I thought with some of the really good calls I've done lately, I thought I'd push it out and try and get a bit more value and see how we do in this first week back after a very, very fruitful international break. So if you did enjoy this video, please do drop a like, subscribe so you don't miss another video. We're on the road to 20,000 subscribers. Leave your predictions down in the comments, and I will see you in the next video very soon.